Good afternoon and welcome to the Medeski Stadium, and it's the PlayStation Under-14 Schools Cup for girls. They played in the final yesterday in Part 1, St Ivo School against Thomas Telford, and here come the teams, and I'll hand on to Clive Tilsley.
St Ivo School in the maroon shirts from St Ives in Cambridgeshire, not St Ives in the West Country. And their opponents in the white shirts, Thomas Telford School, Telford in Shropshire, about 30 miles west of Birmingham, on the way to Shrewsbury. St Ivo School will line up with number 4 there, Nell Webber, as an anchor midfield player in front of a back 4. Catherine Speed is probably their outstanding player. She was involved in an England under-15 get-together recently, and she is the main striker in that team, which Lisa Trigg has selected. Thomas Telford School, they'll play probably a more conventional 4-4-2, and their two main strikers, number 9 Sadie Craig, who won the penalty that sealed the semi-final, and number 10 Jessica Jennings, who is a Liverpool fan who might just be forgiven for having other things on her mind today. I'm sure the SFA final will concentrate that mind. Referee here is Darren Withers. Emily Wooden on the left is the Thomas Telford skipper. It's her choice, she's won the toss. Sophie Tarpey, her opposite number. Everybody stays where they are. And it will be St Ivo School to kick off. The number the England international goalkeeper John Ruddy among their former pupils, and Johnny Peacock, who won Paralympic gold quite recently. It's St Ivo who get us underway. Number 11 is Zoe Barrett. Fallen kindly for the early shot from Catherine Speed. Just as a detail, number 12 Lauren Mellors has started the match for St Ivo in the maroon colours, as she is playing in the centre of midfield. Number 9 Abby Townsend is on the bench to begin with. Is Nicole Cousins. Interception by Amy Best.
Maybe some scores to settle from yesterday's game. The Under-13 Girls' Cup. St Ivo coming out on top of that one. 3-0 winners. One or two players here in the Under-14s played yesterday.
Won the Under-13 national 3-0 against Thomas Telford. Number 7 is Macy Willis. Best across. Taken in a stride by Sophie Bramford. Just overran it, but it'll be a throw-in. Quite an assertive start by Thomas Telford.
Yeah, they want to impose themselves on this game as quickly and as well as possible. Sophie Bramford from midfield getting forward. Every opportunity yesterday. A bit slow to come out and close the cross down. Oh, they made a bit of a mess of that, didn't they? Worked themselves in a good position, 2v1. Better, Nicole Cousins.
Half a dozen of the St Ivo squad were involved in yesterday's game, so it's a big ask for the girls, really. Not just physically, but psychologically. These are big days in their lives, their young lives. They will all have been on the Lucasade last night. Jennings. Back to Wootton. That back here is Natasha Bowater. Forward to Kia Patel. Sophie Tarpey managed to get a foot on the ball. Patel. Caught a little late there after the ball had gone. She's back on the ball, or would have been. Bit of time now for Tarpey. A little bit more, less than she thought. This is Jennings. Turned away by Brown. Ivo haven't really got started. Craig. Back to Cousins. Number 4 is Wootton. There is a flag up against Jessica Jennings.
Yeah, I think that was Emily Wootton, the captain, just from midfield, being fed the ball into that area. Had time and space in front of her, and I think wanted to test the keeper if she could. We got the robot back. We had that yesterday. Back down there. Don't know whether it's the same robot.
It's a real robot, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well, exactly.
It's not a man inside a robot.
Of course
no,
not.
of course.
And they're getting the numbers back, St Ivo. They're on the back foot, no doubt about it. The opening 4.5 minutes of this game. I really will be pleased with the start. Thomas Telford. Gone out again. Really threatened the goal.
In charge of St Ivo are Lisa Trigg and Darren Marjoram in the foreground, whose daughter Sophie is in goal.
Wasn't too much on there, was there, for Macy Willis? Back heel, trying to make things happen.
It's cleverly done. Jennings has found Bramford, but she's found a pretty resolute line on the edge of the penalty area. They're having to be resolute at the moment. St Ivo building pressure. Willis finding Wootton. On by Bramford. Craig just unable to make an impression. Can't get out of their own half of the field at the moment.
That's sensible, just to get the ball back. Try and keep possession. Keep St Ivo on the back foot.
Patel.
Nice.
Cousins. It's meant for Willis, but it might run for Craig. Strong play by Sadie Craig. Emily Wootton. Oh, and it slipped through the goalkeeper's hands, but Sophie Marjoram just managed to recover. Thanks to a rather anxious father there, as well as a coach for one moment.
That was a good strike, wasn't it? Long way out, all of 30 yards, and for a moment there, you wondered whether it would creep over the line. To the relief of Sophie
And her
Marjoram and her dad, yeah, on the sidelines. It's one-way traffic, isn't it? Good skill. Lovely.
Terrific, that wasn't it, from Jessica Jennings. Maybe took on a little bit too much in the end, but the job's done in so much that she linked up with Craig. Craig unable to link with Willis in turn. It's Darren Marjoram in the foreground. He's a Liverpool fan and he takes Sophie with him to quite a lot of games, so they'll be going through it this evening too. To seeing coaches bawling at players from the touchline. And Sophie might have needed a bit of TLC from down if that had slipped over the line, but it didn't. Patel. Worked by Tarpey. It's just a little bit of relief for the girls back there at the moment.
See, they're a little bit slow in midfield to get out, where they're hanging back because of the nervousness, but they're on the back foot.
St Ivo won the National Cup 2 years ago. This team, it was the 9-a-side version at Bisham Abbey. Last year they lost in the final here to South Hunsley, the Humberside school. They were runners-up in the 5-a-side equivalent 2 years ago to the same school, so St Ivo are a team used to success at this level, particularly these girls. It's only been a football school for girls for 4 years, but it's been a very successful 4 years. But they're just looking for a base camp in this match at the moment. Here come Thomas Telford again. Ball clearance by Best. Now maybe an opportunity to get forward. Ellie Jefferson. Sophie Tarpey. Jefferson has managed to nudge it into the path of Lauren Mellors. This is better from St Ivo's point of view, certainly. Jefferson's ball has linked with Catherine Speed. Zoe Barrett's there waiting. And some defending for Thomas Telford to do. That's good work by Best though. She got to the ball, got to the pitch of the ball and stopped the danger. That's the important thing.
She didn't have many options on there. Maybe the one just to drill down the line. Keep this pressure on. They got the ball. It's given possession back to Thomas Telford, who will be grateful for that.
There's Anna Perks on the left and David Howes on the right, the teachers in charge of the Thomas Telford team. Anna's the captain of Wolves Ladies. Speed
out
here
from Lauren Fisham.
Speed's a really important player for them. He's an England cricketer already and is on the verge of being involved with the England football team now at this age group. Talented girl. Bit of hesitation there, and Casey Norman was in, and here's Catherine Speed. It's taken a deflection, and it's a corner kick to St Ivo.
Yeah, it was a great little touch from her. Good awareness, very sharp. Deflection. Come over and take it as well.
Ellie Brown's come forward from the back, number 6. And Alan Bullen, both of the two centre-backs are in there as Speed looks to deliver. They've got to get back now because Thomas Telford can break. It's one for Sadie Craig to chase and one for Sophie Tarpey to clear. Craig might not be altogether denied here yet. Brown on her way back to her century duty, managed to make a contribution. Patel. Jennings trying to work it back to Patel, but Tarpey coming between them. Water. Now Willis. Bramford. Wootton. Working the ball well. Cousins. Fishman just couldn't quite control that. It came reared up at an awkward height.
A nice little interchange, wasn't it? One touch. Good footwork. Good awareness around players moving off the ball. Please the coaches down on the sidelines there. Started the game better than yesterday. And a few girls, both these sides, featured in that game. Stuck at that well, didn't she, Amy Best?
She had to. Sadie Craig looks a real athlete, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I think there's too much doubt who would win a straight leg race between the two, but Amy Best's positioning just bought her a metre or two at the start of that, and she can clear her lines now, after a fashion anyway, only as far as Jessica Jennings. Jennings has stepped into space and is able to have a pot at goal, which doesn't trouble Sophie Marjoram.
That was good from Jessica Jennings. Didn't have much space to work with at all. Wriggled her way past 2 or 3 Ivo defenders and managed to get the shot away.
Back on the ball again with Wootton. Is Bramford. Wootton to Cousins. Now to Willis. No, you see it, no, you don't. Craig there first, but again, dogged defending this time from Ellie Brown. There's little from Forest and West Bromwich Albion days. Doing his bit for Thomas Telford, very much his part of the world. Worked that well again, Wootton with a cross. Goalkeeper's got to be alert here, and she is. The flag might have gone up against Craig if she'd got involved, I'm not sure.
I'm sure it would have done. I think the fact that it's gone out for a throw-in, maybe it should have. Craig was certainly in an offside position.
It was an inadvertent touch, it was a deflected touch, it wasn't a conscious touch by the defender. It wouldn't have played her onside as such. Bit of a tumble there. Miss Craig. She's okay.
They keep sweeping things up in midfield at the moment. Thomas Telford. And Ivo got to get a grip. There's an opportunity.
Up towards speed by Jefferson.
Well on her own up front, isn't she?
Willis. Strong play again by Craig. It's quite a tussle she's having with Best on this side. She's got the better of this particular duel. Crosses into a really good area between defenders and goalkeeper, but Jessica Jennings couldn't quite attack it. She's got the ball now, though.
Wonderful ball from Sadie Craig. Didn't she do well? Showed the strength, showed the pace as well.
Free kick given and taken. And a chance for Bramford. And, it's patted down by Marjoram so that she could gather it. Not quite what she had in mind, I don't think, but it's a very effective pass, if they can dare call it that.
tactics, don't we, at the moment for St Ivo? Is really look to break forward. See if you can chip it over the top. Catherine Speed.
It's 4-5-1 really, isn't it?
Yeah. Speed, you know, all on her own up front. She's got the pace, I think. It's all about the delivery or the pass forward to her. Struggling to get into contention close to her. And they've got possession as they do now.
It's a tiring game to play without the ball as football, and they haven't had a lot of the ball so far, St Ivo. And that forces that kind of error. It's almost a surprise to you when you do get in. It's difficult to string 3 or 4 passes together. But here's Ellie Brown starting to do that, finding Jefferson and now Tarpey. Jefferson's got a bit of space, but couldn't quite bring it under control. Brownford, she's lost it though. Round for Mellors. Wharton to Patel. 1 or 2 loose passes.
Yeah, it's just going through that phase in the game, isn't it? A little bit sloppy. Got to try and keep the ball in those areas. Be patient. Most of all, just give natural time for the whole team to move 10, 15, 20 yards up the pitch. Otherwise, the isolation of players up front, such as Catherine Speed, is going to find it very difficult up against 3 defenders to make any sort of real impact.
He's giving it straight to Webber. Better clearance from Marjoram. Longer clearance, certainly, but she's got to scamper back now as Sophie Bramford cinches her chance.
I think that was worth a shot. We had space to run into. Good first touch. There. She just realised that Marjoram was off a line, out of position. Be off balance if she could have just got that keeper's left-hand side.
See a change here. St Ivo colours. On will come Abbie Townsend. Maybe the fact she played yesterday was why she was spared from the start. She's needed. Macy Willis. Turned away by Bullen. It's Willis again.
Been called upon often, hasn't she? Amy Best. So far. She's up to the challenge. A lot of good work. Thomas Telford coming down this right-hand side. Craig really looking at these opportunities to run the channel, cross in and get the support from her teammates arriving in the box.
Then miscuing. Mellors towards the lonely Speed.
Have to be patient in this game and bide her time. Realise that maybe chances will be few and far between, and hopefully she can be ready when she does get that opportunity.
Best is there again.
But there might have been a little shove on her.
Mellors has come a little bit wider now to perhaps try to help protect her. Substitute Townsend playing just inside Mellors. Zoe Barrett couldn't really get involved in the game.
And then this is going to be swept in. Strike.
It's into a really good area too. It's just teased Jessica Jennings. It bounced in front of her and picked up pace on the quick top surface.
Lovely delivery. Very difficult to defend, almost impossible. And I think she just stuttered for a second, just doubted herself. Had she committed and gone the way, right in there. And better with that superb ball.
Rotherham's kicking has been a little erratic so far. Jennings. By Tarpey.
Ooh, just had to be careful, didn't she?
Ellie
Sadie
Brown.
Craig ready to pounce.
Quite get to the pitch of that, but she got a boot on the ball. Averted the immediate danger. Well, there's more on the way, you sense. Wootton will settle for another corner. Pressure's pretty persistent from Thomas Telford School.
Oh, that was the short one, short corner. This one's going to be put into the box.
Tell is there. Well, it's awkward for the goalkeeper and it's headed off the line. Cleared as far as Jessica Jennings. She can't score. Neither can Bramford. Still an opportunity, but the flag's up on the near side. Sophie Marjoram had another scare there, but she survived it again.
Oh, the skin of her teeth, didn't she? Should have dealt with it. It's Emily Wootton who's in there, cleared off the line. Then a good block on the edge of the box here. And the shot, when it finally came in, found Emily Wootton in an offside position. Relief, I think, on the defenders, especially that girl in goal, Sophie Marjoram.
Another change for St Ivo, rather reflecting the start they've made to the game. They've substituted both of their initial wide players now. Ellie Jefferson this time making way for Caitlin McGowan. Bowater. Patel.
One touch.
Bowater again.
I don't think Bowater's taken more than one touch on each occasion. It's been a great first touch.
Bramford. Well, they're trying to test out Marjoram now. And they fancied the chances from range. I mean, it must be the most difficult position at this level, particularly, I think, in girls' football. There's just so much space between the goalkeeper's highest reach and the crossbar.
When you get to this age group, the category, you're playing 11-a-side football. Quite got the stature of a 14, 15-year-old.
He's got plenty of courage, plenty of guts.
Good kick.
Sure, it can be all that easy playing for your dad either. You ever played in a team that your dad coached?
No. A cricket team, maybe a cricket team.
Was he hard on you or
Very
easy on
hard,
you?
yeah.
Very hard, yeah. I think that's the way it worked.
Tough. Very critical. Yeah, just left that leg up. Lauren Fishman gives away. Oh, some respite this is for St Ivo. Grateful just to have a breather, have possession down in that Thomas Telford half.
I think if they can get to half-time at 0-0, they can take stock, have a little bit of time with Dad and with Lita Trigg. See how they can just get a bit more involved in the game. Here's Patel. Forward towards Sadie Craig. And she's won that race, and Craig's got a great chance. Oh, denied by the woodwork this time. Sophie Marjorum's luck was in there, and Sadie Craig's was out.
Yeah, what an opportunity that was. Sadie Craig puts her hands on her hips. Can't believe it. Look at the strength here. Oh, desperate lunge from Marjorum in goal. Nowhere near the ball. It's really just a question of whether it's going to get near. Is that going to cause a problem?
For the corner. It won't surprise you at all if I tell you that Sadie Craig is a really good track and field athlete. She's got a reputation of being a very good pentathlete. Excellent running ability. The number 9 was denied by the angle.
Almost like the ball had just got away from her slightly, hasn't? And she had to get her foot to it and try and get the strike on goal. Did very well to control it as well as she did.
Jennings with a corner, which isn't a good one. But they're hanging in, no more than that, to be honest, St Ivo.
As you say, half an hour gone, there'll be relief that it's still 0-0. They're in the game. Get a chance. Maybe they'll shift things around slightly. Still think lone striker up front, Catherine Speed, has found it really difficult. She hasn't really played very little part in the game, simply because they haven't had possession.
And now they've got a base camp here. Townsend will take the throw. Looking for Speed, but so were 3 defenders.
Bit of tussle, I think, with the frustration of Catherine Speed and Abigail Jones, number 5.
And Lauren White, the goalkeeper, has been a spectator with you and me so far, John. She's just been watching on too.
Yeah. Noise around the stadium. You've got to give credit to the fans here. They've been brilliant over the 3 days.
And more than 6,000 came through the gates for last year's festival here. It's no feeling quite like supporting your offspring or your classmate in a final of a national cup competition. And it's a day out of school, let's face it. It's been a rainy day in Berkshire at the moment. It's by the M4 motorway. Many of you perhaps haven't actually watched football here, will have driven past the Medeski, away from London, maybe down to the West Country. Boggled away by Bowater. A bit more of a presence now in midfield for St Ivo. Starting to see a little bit more of the ball. Macy Willis.
I think that's what the coaches will be saying to them.
This is Craig. On towards Bramford. And she'll go for goal, and Marjorum gets everything behind it.
Yep, straight to the keeper. Relief. No, you're right, there was just that spell, wasn't it, where the 4 midfield players from St Ivo were really getting a grip of that midfield for the first time in this game. Now, move up the pitch. Got to press higher.
Tarpey up towards Speed. Abigail Jones is there. Tarpey's throw. Speed. Managed to force it back for Norman. Deja might now be on the counter. This is Jennings. Craig will chase that, so will Jennings. 2 against 4 though. A bit of support arriving. Willis is trying to get there. Jennings with a cross. Is trying to make something of it. Smuggled away by Mellors. Emily Wooden. Tasha Bowater. Erin slice by Alan Bullen. Harpy's got some time though. Made the most of it. Patel hasn't made the most of the opportunity either. Norman. It's a little loose. When it's square and loose, it's dangerous. Marjorum's there again.
Yeah, Bramford looking for that ball just inside the fullback between the centre half. Get Sadie Craig away. They know she's got the beating of this back line.
Paul Cousins taking no chances. Amy Best. Able to link with Mellors. I think it went straight out. It's really good work from Bramford. Good vision too. Bowater's got space. Out towards Patel. Just trying to hold the width out there. Kia Patel has been dispossessed on this occasion by Tarpey. Bold run by McGowan. Now Patel's got some space.
Great defending from Abigail Jones, I think it was.
Patel's onside too, if she can catch this. Brown's the favourite. Tarpey can't control. Anna Perks getting some professional advice.
Debate going on down there. Tweak one or two things.
Des was asked for his opinion. His speed. Challenged by Jones. Speed though can break clear, and she's been well found. And here's a real chance now for Catherine Speed. Round the goalkeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
It's an ambush. St Ivo School take the lead. They've had so little of this first half, but on the stroke of half-time, their outstanding player, Catherine Speed, is released by an excellent first-time pass. I think it was Casey Norman who put it clear. And one chance, one goal. Expertly taken by Speed.
Well, how many times have we seen this before? Against a run of play. I thought that touch had taken it too far, but it's a speed by name, speed by nature. She gets there. There, slightly heavy touch, and you just thought, was the keeper going to get there? Fingertips to it, but doesn't do enough. Look at the delight. They think it's gone too far, the chance is gone, and the delight for them on the sidelines and all the fans behind.
I think Lita Trick's going to need a good lie down at half-time, let alone give a team talk. The girls might need to talk to her.
Well, isn't it strange how that just changes the whole dynamic of the half-time team talk?
Then it makes it easier for St Ivo School and their staff. Unless Thomas Telford can reply here.
Well, isn't it remarkable? I'd love to see the possession stats. I don't think we got those.
It's Norman again, looking for speed again. This is Jones. Patel. Run off the ball though by Tarpey. Ball was out of play.
Oh, it was a classic breakaway goal, wasn't it? Knew she was a threat.
In fairness to St Ivo, that's the way they played it. They know they have an exceptional forward. They have defended in numbers. They have clawed their way into the game step by step in the hope of creating one, maybe two chances for Catherine Speed to break clear, and here she is again.
We did say, didn't we? There would be chances would be few and far between for St Ivo.
Well, football was never meant to be fair, and that's certainly how Thomas Telford School will be looking back on these first 35 minutes. They've had so much of the game, so much threat. It just seemed a matter of time before they would score. But right on half-time, it was St Ivo who scored through Catherine Speed. It's Thomas Telford 0, St Ivo School 1.
A lovely ball through, isn't it? Real highlight of that first half. It was her speed that took her there. Heavy first touch, the goalkeeper just caught in no man's land. Do I commit myself here? Do I stay on my feet? She knew she had to go and try and block this.
The first touch was
challenge.
a bit heavy, but that was what tempted the goalkeeper, wasn't it? The goalkeeper had no choice then.
Absolutely.
She's thinking, well, I can stay here, and now she's thinking, oh, wait a minute, I might get to that.
Yeah. It was Abbie Townsend with the through ball. There she goes in and joins in the celebrations with a teammate. Well, against all the run of play, the heavens open again.
We'll see you in a minute or two.
Is just a practice attempt. It'll all go on their second attempt, and it'll be the first person to hit the crossbar. If they hit the crossbar, they win a PS4. See what we can do. George won it in the last one. You won PS4. Does not count. Their first go does not count. They'll all go on the second go. Will be then the first person to hit the crossbar. Once that crossbar's hit, the game is over. But they only get one go at this. Right, boys, just wait in the dugout as well. If you can wait in the dugout. Yeah, good. The Schools Cup selfie. You can add us at PS Schools Cup as well, at PS Schools Cup. That's how you can find us, PS Schools Cup. And School Cup selfie, Schools Cup selfie, that's right. Hashtag Schools Cup selfie. So we've got 5 guys, we're just waiting for a thumbs up from Tom that we've got all of the forms signed. Everyone's happy. Good to go? Well, we're waiting for the 5 balls to be signed, so as soon as that's happened, then we're away. Tom, we've got 5 balls ready, all signed.
Come on, Mr. Paperwork Man, come on.
on side, yeah? Okay, everyone come there. Can we have a round of applause for our participants, please? There we are, nice performance where we go. The guys again will reiterate, their first go does not count. Okay, it's a practice go. It will be the second go that they'll be resting on for a PS4. That'll be whoever scores, whoever hits that crossbar first, that the game is over. We're going to put them in a random order, and this is their practice go. We've got Finn up first, where you go, Finn, this is your practice go. When you're ready, Finn. When you're ready. Oh, beautiful. Who's number 2? Right, we've got Simon up next. We're here with Simon. Great stuff, away you go. This is Simon's practice go. Oh! Don't worry about that, Simon. The second go, be well worth it. What's your name? Tyler! Let's hear it for Tyler! Ooh, got the height, that's a good Tyler. That's a good spot. And who do you have now? What's your name, buddy? Right, we've got Matty up next. Come on then, Matty, let's see how you can do. Nice big chance, there's 10, 91. Ooh! What's your name, buddy? Last number. Jaden, we've got Jaden. Here are they, Jaden. Whenever you're ready, buddy. Ooh, it's a good cycle. Now this is where it gets exciting. They've all had their practice go. They're all going to get one go each. The first person to hit the crossbar will win a PS4. Right, we've got Finn going first. Let's hear it for Finn. Come on then, buddy. Oh! He just wanted the celebration. Simon's up next. Can we hear it for Simon? Right, Simon, whenever you're ready, buddy. Every favour. Oh! You saw the PS4 in his eyes. We're over on Tyler up. Come on then, Tyler. This is your go. This is your moment. Oh! Unlucky. Let's hear it for Matty. Come on, it's Matty go. We've got 2 guys left. If Matty does it, it's all over though. Oh! Too good. It was Jaden, wasn't it? So can we hear it for Jaden? Jaden, last man standing, here we go. Oh! Can we have a massive round of applause for all the guys that have taken part? We're still going to get loads of these. Just those, PS4. We'll be still waiting PS4s throughout Monday and today's event. All they have to do is hit the crossbar. So, if anyone wants to do a selfie, hashtag SchoolsCupSelfie, hashtag SchoolsCupSelfie, I'll go into Twitter or Instagram. If we see your lovely faces, we'll pick someone out of that to win a PS4. It's real simple thing to do. Instagram, Twitter, hashtag SchoolsCupSelfie, and that enters the competition to win a PS4. If you guys want to revisit and relive everything today, the goal is to highlight the action. You can, instead, you just go to www.PlayStationSchoolsCup.com. That's PlayStationSchoolsCup.com. All the goals of today, so the goals of the first half, that will be there for you guys to watch. This is Big Street Live as well, as it's needed. This is Big Street Live. officials coming up. They want to put the teams out now. Get the second half underway. Let's do this. Indeed. It was a great first half. Let's hope the second half lives up to the expectations of the first. We're bringing out two teams. The bench officials are there. Let's welcome back first on the field, to Ivo School! And the second team in the final. Let's welcome back PlayStation under-15 Schools Cup for Girls final between Ivo School and Telford School. We've got one period left of 35 minutes. The scores are level penalty kicks will be taken to decide the winning team. Good luck, players.
Welcome back to the Medeski Stadium. Referee's on the same diet as me, I think, John.
Oh, I put a few pounds on with the catering downstairs, and
let's give our thanks to the referees, Darren Withers included. Game doesn't happen without them. Good lad. And we are 35 minutes away from a decision in another big final, the Under-14 B final for girls, with Thomas Telford School from Shropshire in the white shirts trailing St Ivo School from Cambridgeshire, St Ives in Cambridgeshire, by a goal scored on the stroke of half-time by Catherine Speed against the run of play.
I'd love to know what the team talks were and what they would have been before that goal was scored. The coaches were thinking how they were going to talk it through, what they were going to say, and how it changed in those final moments.
It's one thing addressing a team of adults in the Women's Premier League at half-time if you're a goal down and a little hard done by. You can appeal to their spirit and resolution. The girls are 13 and 14 years of age. They're going to start to feel a little bit sorry for themselves if the flow of the game continues in the same way without Thomas Telford getting some reward. They need, you sense they'd probably need something in these first 10 minutes or so, really, to fight the disheartened, demoralised feeling they must have had when Speed went through to score.
Yeah, they've got to put that to one side, haven't they? And I think pretty much keep on the same way that they were playing. They were creating real issues for St Ivo to deal with. Marjoram on a number of occasions in goal was called upon.
It's a goal kick.
Slippy down there off the pitch, isn't it? Two have gone down. While Bramford does up her laces. Ready to go.
The third of the 3 days here, 15 cup finals in all over the 3 days. The Medeski, just one more after this.
Like this, be the double for St Ivo in the under-13s, and now the under-14s. Yesterday it was 3-0. Game yesterday.
Abby Townsend, who supplied the scoring pass for Catherine Speed here, was among the scorers against Thomas Telford yesterday. St Ivo number 9. Didn't start this final, but she has come on and made an impact. Both of the substitutes have actually. Caitlin McGowan's done well too. Norman forward towards Speed. Thomas Telford defence will be wary of Speed now. But here's the speed of Jessica Jennings, and actually Sadie Craig taking over and trying to go clear. It's found its way through to Marjoram.
Touch back.
The best came across from left back.
She just got a touch on it. Very good covering from the fullback. Sadie Craig was in on goal. The pass was meant for her. She took advantage of it. Good defending.
Holland caught in possession by Patel. This is Jessica Jennings. She's going to get another chance. That was just a practice. Here comes the cross. It's a bit more meaningful. Might come out to Wootton.
Well, she doesn't want to. She really didn't want to hit that with her left foot, did she? Tried the little reverse chip. Great moment. It's a dummy. You're right. Whee! And cuts back and then does whip a good ball in with her right foot.
Wootton under a little bit of pressure, it has to be said. Came to her on her left foot and she fired it wide. Marjoram here remains unbeaten. Water. Patel. One back by Bramford, and then lost to Nell Webber. Oh, and there's another chance here maybe for Catherine Speed. He's got 4 of them to beat though. Wootton's asked a lot of Craig, but she can shift the number 9. Got across there quickly enough to put pressure on Best. It's a better start to the half though for St Ivo. Mellors kept on going. And Norman. Tarpey's got forward. Norman resisted the first challenge. Wootton's gone down. There's a bit of concern here for Emily Wootton.
Holding ahead that she's just taking a bash. Still coming together in that tackle. See it here. It's the heads, isn't it? They're coming together.
Yeah, gonna have to be really careful with any kind of head injury.
Casey Norman was fine.
Steve Plant, the Thomas Telford physio, knows exactly what he's doing. Lead Emily off for a little while. Clear ahead, and I think probably convince himself that she's okay.
Back on.
That's the danger though. Water to Patel. Can let that run out, I think.
Yeah, she could just leave that.
That was unnecessary.
Saying, give me a shout then. Speed, who's made them a little bit nervous at the back there.
McGowan with the throw. Tell. Norman. Crossed in towards Speed. It was good cover from right back by Nicole Cousins, but at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, Casey Norman with a really good ball. Wrapped her foot round it. Just got into that position just outside the box. The intervention, the fullback.
interesting to see the delivery here from Casey Norman. I'm hoping she's going to prove me wrong, but I think a short corner works well here. Girls of this standard probably now just hang one up to the far post. It's a big kick, you know. It really is. Anyway, she's got it back. She's worked the short corner with an opponent. Nobody saw that coming. Now she's committed a foul. Bramford down.
No, I totally agree with you. These are, you know, where you can just work on the training pitch. Little short ones, have somebody on the edge of the box, dummy it to go short and play it to the outside of the box, or little give and goes, 1-2s.
Just takes the pressure off the kicker then.
Yeah. It does make it difficult for the defending side when the goalkeeper, specifically here in this game, you know, isn't going to get anywhere near the halfway line. It's very difficult to relieve the pressure that you're under. Allows the opposition to really squeeze you in there.
Jennings. Skill. Really good skill. Wootton's okay now. Path of Cousins. Willis. Bramford catch that. She can. Oh, there's another dangerous ball across the face of Marjorum's goal. Tell retrieves it. Jennings. Jennings involved again. It was more of a challenge than a pass, but that's what it's become for Nicole Cousins. Now Sadie Craig.
Well, just going back to that previous chance, Jennings and Patel, really, had they been able to just gamble that little bit more, only needed one of them to go in, they'd have been in on goal. As it was, it evaded both of them.
Had plenty of pace on it too, in fairness. It was a difficult cross to catch up with, but it was a good cross. Ooh, be careful. Here goes speed again. Mistake by Jones. Speed has been driven a bit wide, but she gets a shot in. Lauren White managed to fend it off, but that's the danger.
It's just driven slightly wider than I think she would have hoped for. She gets the shot in. You could tell Abigail Jones just with that sort of slip, wasn't it? Defensively, the four of them against one, sometimes you relinquish that responsibility that you would have if you were just marking on your own.
Tarpey.
Covering.
Speed has made them nervous back there now.
Well, you always think you're comfortable in numbers, but you're not always. That was as good a demonstration as you'll see.
McGowan with the throw. Again, foul throw penalised. Your feet over the line, as long as they're both on the ground, as long as some part of both feet is touching the line, throw is good. See in Premier League games, fans shouting at linesmen because there's a toe over the line. That's quite all right. Two heels on the line is fine as long as they're both on the ground. Tarpey. Can't clear. Tarpey grinds on. Speed maybe just impeded there by Cousins. Bramford trying to touch it into the path of Craig. Willis can't control. Get a little anxious now for Thomas Telford.
Couple of changes, I think, coming our way, one from each side.
Been is Emma Mellors of St Ivo. Taking the place of Lauren Mellors, who I don't know for a fact is her sister, but I think they are related. It looks it. And it makes my life a bit easier. There's only one Mellors on the field. That's the sort of day we've had, particularly in the morning. Absolutely pelted it down in Berkshire this morning.
Down at the dugout areas, very muddy.
Free kick to St Ivo. Haven't been troubled as much in this second half as they were for long periods of the first.
Ella Kinsey getting ready to come on, isn't she?
Yeah.
If they'd decided against a switch.
Told she's a centre back, so it'll be interesting to see where she plays.
Like for like, as you say. Very well. Been impressed by her.
She's only 13. It's, you know, big difference in physical development. 13, 14-year-olds, this kind of age group. Now goalkeeper's come rather belatedly. Judgment's good.
Well, I know Lauren Fishman played yesterday. It's a tough game. It's been another tough game for 50 minutes here.
Now, free kick here to Thomas Telford. Just needs some momentum. They've lost it.
Well, they have ever since the goal, haven't they? That
Yeah.
really just knocked the wind out of their sails. You could see it was palpable just watching the team and how they sat back then.
Bramford with the free kick, and it's a really good free kick. Almost too good. It's a little bit too tall for Jessica Jennings.
I think she did what she needed to do, which was put the delivery in there. Decent ball, just waited and waited and quite judged the flight of the ball. Was more interested in the tussle maybe with Ellen Bullen.
Marjoram again unable to find much distance, and she's got some goalkeeping to do here. Jessica Jennings' shot just skims past her post.
Yeah, she's looked really lively, hasn't she, Jessie Jennings? Several occasions, made things happen, seen opportunities. There's another one. Had Sophie Marjoram scrambling across. Here's another
Jennings
one.
again. Craig with a chance. Well, at least they're starting to create opportunities again. Marjoram was getting a quieter time until these last couple of minutes.
Good cutback out of her feet. Showed that on a couple of occasions. Got quick feet. Knows how to make a little bit of space and room for herself. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around that one. Tensions ramping up.
So St Ivo going to have to find a way to deal with Sophie Marjoram's inability. It's not her fault to smash the ball 50 yards down the field. They're going to have Ellie Brown as plan B. But again, it's more of a pass to fellow centre-back Ellen Bullen. Thomas Telford have got to react to this. Jennings got round the back here. Oh, and Marjoram's lost it. Survived again. Somehow Amy Best conjured up a clearance.
See, doesn't she do well? Brilliantly away. Then it's the left foot, she digs it out. You think, blown the opportunity, it's a poor ball, but it works out that...
Oh, and she's made another save with a little bit of help from her post. Sophie Bramford, and I think Thomas Telford sense now there's a chance. They've got to have a pot at goal.
Another one, isn't it?
I think Sophie Marjoram did get a bit of that before it hit the post.
This is more like the team that we saw in the opening stages of this, well, this whole match, and for much of the first half they dominated proceedings. It's more like it from Thomas Telford. I think we're going to see more and more of it. Game is really now in the critical phase. The goal for St Ivo, and I think it's could possibly be all over. Telford gonna have to sweep forward, tight at the back, but really go looking for this equaliser as soon as they can.
More than 15 minutes to play. Ooh, that's a total miscue by Abigail Jones, and that's as cheap a corner as you'll get.
Trying to hit that up to us. The stand here.
Someone is coming up, Telford with some mugs.
Ivo have got a bit of an injury problem at the moment to deal with before things go any further. It looks like cramp.
Yeah, I've lost count of the amount of times I've seen so many players these 3 days suffering with cramp. Such a big pitch.
Oh,
And the tension of the occasion.
Ben Daly is the physio for St Ivo School.
It's Casey Norman down, isn't it?
It's such a helpless feeling, cramp, isn't it? You kind of feel a bit of a fool that you haven't actually picked up a proper injury, but it's as painful as any injury, isn't it?
Agony. It really is. You can't do anything. Once you've got it, you're totally incapacitated.
Casey Norman, you're right. Yeah, I think they're going to have to make a change. I think they've agreed on that. Reading Ellie Jefferson. Jefferson, who did start the game, started over on the right-hand side. Critical stage of the match. 15 minutes remaining. Goal kick is the outcome there.
Yep, spot on. But again, I think a short corner would have been called upon there. Even with the ball rolling back, even if you're out there, you've got much more ability to sweep a better ball in than just a dead ball situation.
Bramford strong running, can't quite keep that in. Forcing the throw in. Handball.
Came over me, she's thinking.
It bounced up at Natasha Bowater. It was almost instinctive. I don't quite know what to do with this.
Amused look on her face. What just happened?
Free kick then. So then Catherine Speed coming across to take it. Oh, it's on target too. Oh, and it's headed into her own goal by Sophie Bramford. And St Ivo are 2 up. Speed, who scored the first, delivered the dangerous free kick, and there's just no concealing Sophie Bramford, whose goal sealed the semi-final victory, but whose own goal may just have sealed the final for St Ivo.
Well, it's cruel, isn't it? But you've got to deal with that at the near post. She doesn't. The keeper have given her a big shout. I don't think so. I think you've got to clear the danger. That's what your job is there. She could have come and collected it. There was no pressure. You've got to hand it to Catherine Speed. She took the initiative, came over and took that free kick and whipped a ball that ultimately they were unable to deal with.
Bramford was just trying to protect her goalkeeper, really, Lauren White. Here is Bramford reacting the best she can, trying to deal with it herself. But it was a free kick that was well struck, but really was heading straight into the goalkeeper's grasp until Bramford intervened. As I say, it was Bramford's penalty which sealed the semi-final win. Played a big part in getting her team here. Still an opportunity. Patel with a shot. That's awkward, but actually came at a decent height to Marjoram in the end. Difficult now for Anna Perks and her team. Bramford, who's responded really well to that setback. She's been involved in just about everything in the couple of minutes since the goal. Must be feeling so demoralised, but she's got back involved in the game and is trying to influence the game, trying to get her team back into it.
I think she's got a good character. She's a good footballer. She was influential. I think good from their perspective. This is the one that doesn't really trouble the keeper. Sophie Marjoram dealt with easily. Change.
Yes, and Ivo bringing on Alice Claridge. Tarpey's worked really hard, the captain. One is coming off.
Limping off.
Yeah, she's suffering, I think, with the cramp too. I think Jefferson's going to get a right back. She'll play actually in right midfield. It's Caitlin McGowan who's gone to right back. Yeah. To the last 10 minutes. Still an opportunity if Jennings can get there. She's certainly fast enough. Jessica Jennings made space for a shot. It's a hopeful effort in truth by Wootton, who is naturally left-footed. It is a favoured side, but she couldn't guide that from a long way out.
Lovely skill from Jessica Jennings. Disappointment. Captain's face. Emily Wootton. Just can't find a way back into this game, can they? Talk about timing of goals. First one certainly absolutely rocked Thomas Telford. Second one with 10 minutes to go, I think. Be about the character of this team. Thomas Telford staring a double defeat at the hands of St Ivo. Yesterday in the under-13s, today in the under-14s. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. Goal, of course, in the next couple of minutes changes things.
I think it's going to have to be the next couple of minutes, though. Speed on the field. St Ivo have always carrying a threat. Scott Mellors in support. Maybe should have played it that time. She's so important to the St Ivo team. I'm sure they'll forgive her for a little overindulgence on occasions. This is Claridge. Stopped by Bullen. Cleared by Bullen. Now Wootton. Temptation to go early forward. Has fallen for Jennings.
Anywhere will do. Nothing's going to dampen their spirits down there on the sidelines. Whether or not the result. Support's been amazing, it really has. This whole 3 days. And again, making all the noise with sailors over there.
Expressions on the faces though now. Starting to fear the worst, I think, the Thomas Telford girls. Particularly those who are revisiting yesterday's nightmare. They were beaten in the semi-finals last year. They managed to avenge that defeat to South Hunsley School en route to this final. Craig. It's a stirring run by Jefferson. Looking for speed, but just unable to find it. Kinsey. Cousins. Tell. Bit of a miscue in truth by Nicole Cousins. Quite happened for Patel on either flank. She's a really good all-round sportswoman, good hockey player, good cricketer. Here's Bramford on a mission. Now Sadie Craig. Lots of cover. Strong play by Craig. She's totally outnumbered though.
Well, they just swarmed all around it, didn't they? Snuffed out the danger. It was just get the bodies there. It was good defending in the end. Really looks like it has run away from them, doesn't it?
Well, and across to deny Jefferson, but they are fast running out of time. Last 5 minutes. Cole is coming on for Thomas Telford. Essentially a defender. Here's speed. This is cross charge down. Ivo throw. Wootton. Goes Sadie Craig. Jennings waiting on the far side. How can she find a cross? Craig. There she goes. She's run into a bit of a cul-de-sac, but she's found a way out. Bramford will chase. Bramford's cross. Oh, and Craig's there! Flags up. It's not going to count. Offside. It's not going to count. All this joy is going to be for naught.
Oh, that would have set up a grandstand finish, wouldn't it? She deserved a goal, Sadie Craig, I think, and his Thomas Telford team. And when they do get it in the net, it's offside. I think it's absolutely the right decision. Yeah. Fabulous ball in. We're not just quite wide enough on the angle, are we?
Yeah, I think
it definitely looks like she's offside. Did the first time around, live play up here. It's the correct decision. You just know it's not going to go your way on days like this.
However, getting everybody involved. Zoe Barrett, as often the captain, is coming on for these last few minutes. Sadie Craig denied by a flag on the far side. Macy Willis going to get another chance. Wootton having a bit of a swipe at it. Here's Craig again. Wootton almost found a way through to Patel, but almost not enough for Thomas Telford. Ball just won't fall for them. Patel is behind Bramford. Well won by Townsend. Wootton. It's miscued. So John, a player of the match to nominate. I've got a funny feeling I know where you're going.
Well, I mean, I think there's been some really good performances all around. Thomas Telford, especially Sophie Bramford. She conceded that second goal, but she really responded brilliantly. She was instrumental in everything good. They just haven't been able to break this side down. Sadie Craig, goal ruled off, out for offside. I think she's played really well. Jessica Jennings has been sensational with some of her skills, but no, I'm going to go with the St Ivo side. No surprises there. Look like they're going to see this out, and Catherine Speed, number 7, there she is in the picture.
Just been the difference, hasn't she?
Well, she has. She's led the line brilliantly. Often it's been 1 against 4. I think just the work rate, there's quality she's had. She's offside there,
Just offside
surely.
here. Offside, that's not going to count. Denied by the post.
But it's sometimes that bit of class, the difference between teams, and I think she's been it. That breakthrough goal was so crucial. The ball through from Abby Townsend, split the defence. She was onto it and held her composure.
As I say, already part of the England cricket squad at this age group. She was involved in an under-15 football get-together with the national team recently. Outstanding young sportswoman. Here's Sadie Craig for Thomas Telford. Macy Willis trying to make something of it. Told there might be 5 added minutes on the way, which might make life interesting. Bramford. It's Bramford's shot, and it's in! Well, there's redemption for Sophie Bramford. So unfortunate to score the own goal, which widened the gap, but she's narrowed it with a fabulous angle drive. And that's a great moment for Sophie Bramford, who didn't let that disappointment daunt her.
No, it's great redemption for her. That's a great strike. The goalkeeper's got no chance. Sophie Marjoram, she puts her hands out, shows the strength, but then shows the composure that she's shown the whole game, to be honest. Really outstanding talent, fully deserving, and well, still 3.5 minutes to go, and we're in for the surprise of all surprises. You know, St Ivo are going to be pushed and rocked right back. The anxiety levels will be ratcheted up to a level they won't have experienced in this game.
That's a big shot, got challenged by Jefferson. The referee, I don't think he's going to penalise the challenge, but I think he's a little concerned about the injury, understandably so. Good to see Sadie Craig actually back on her feet.
Yeah, it is. But it was a
Jefferson's
crunching tackle here.
Ooh.
The ball was there to be won. Good challenge.
Let's see how he restarts this.
Well, because St Ivo had the possession, didn't they?
Yeah, bounce ball, I think.
I think, yeah, they'll kick it back, get on with it. They'll want the game to continue as quickly as possible.
Well, Sophie Bramford here is a Liverpool fan. I think she's had enough dramas one way or another already today. But she's got that into the path of Craig. And here's an opportunity. Sadie Craig! 2-2! 2 in stoppage time for Thomas Telford. And this final could be heading to penalties. It's Sadie Craig who saved it. And Bramford was involved again.
Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Oh, she gets her hands to it. And there's another one, Sadie Craig, she deserves it as well. 2 goals in extra time. That's tough on St Ivo. And now they will be worried that this game has run away from them psychologically. It does go to penalties. I mean, can Thomas Telford get a third? That's remarkable stuff.
Got a feel for Sophie Marjoram, you know. The slow motion replay doesn't really do justice to the goalkeeper. That was hit with real venom.
Yeah, it was.
And yet she got hands to it. Yes, she was reaching, but just the power of the shot brushed her palms of her hand and flew into the roof of the net. And Sophie Marjoram may still be the hero because it looks like a penalty shootout.
Well, football never ceases to amaze us, does it? It really doesn't. Talk about Liverpool there and the European Cup final tonight, the Europa League final. Istanbul and the comeback against Milan.
St Ivo trying to make some substitutions, I suspect, in anticipation of a penalty shootout. They've maybe thought in their mind, now we need to get these players, number 8 Casey Norman and number 12 Lauren Mellors, both of whom started the match, are going to come back on.
Sensible move. 15 seconds or so left on the clock of extra time.
Coaches have got to be thinking in these terms. It's not always easy to think when you've just conceded 2 goals in stoppage time and the final which you thought you'd won is getting away from you, but in fairness to Lisa and Darren down there, they clearly thought this through. They know who they want on the field for a penalty shootout. Alice Claridge, number 14, is stripped and ready to come on too, I think. Maybe not.
Referee will let maybe a minute of play go on for that stoppage.
Here they come again, Jennings. Important clearance in the end by Cousins because she could have been wrong-footed, but that's it. Well, St Ivo was so close, there's no question about that, and you can understand their disappointment, and whether that will impact on them in what's about to follow, we shall see. But I think in fairness, on the balance of play, Thomas Telford maybe deserve a second crack at this.
Oh, I think they do. I think they felt the game had gone. Isn't it amazing how so late in a game you've got nothing really left to lose whatsoever? You throw bodies forward, you take that touch, you hit it maybe that bit earlier. Both Sophie Bramford and Sadie Craig really smashed that into the goal. Both chances they found themselves in, and you're right, St Ivo have got to regroup, focus, pose themselves here. Coaches are on the pitch with both sets of players, just working out the numbering.
How many penalty shootouts have you been through as a player?
I've been through a couple.
Have you taken a penalty?
I've never taken one.
You've never taken one?
No, it never got to me. I mean, I was brave enough, obviously, to stand up and take one, but no, you'd have found me at the back of the queue.
Put your hand up when the coach asked.
Yeah,
put me in the first 10, boss, no problem. Anyway, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
There's some hands going up, actually. Can you see there? There's St Ivo. Yes, miss, I'll have a go. Which is quite something, really, the disappointment they've just gone through. That's good to see.
You know what, penalties, it's all about psychology and really being bold and positive. If you step up, not that I'm talking with great authority here, of course.
Yeah.
Step up with boldness, authority and conviction of, you know, which way you're going to go. You choose, you don't change your mind. You focus on the ball, you know, all those adages of practice and concentration.
You've been here throughout the 3 days. I haven't. Have there been any penalty shootouts decide a final yet?
We've had one.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a lot to put these girls through. I mean, crikey, the experience of playing in front of all your friends and family and big championship ground like this, in a National Cup final. 2 in 2 days for some of them. If that's not enough, this is now. I must admit the goalkeepers never look nervous at moments like this, because really they can only win. Lauren White or Sophie Marjoram can make a save, then they'll be hailed and remembered forever. If they don't stop any, then so be it. The taker is always the favourite, and so all the pressure is always on the taker, and it's a long, long walk from the halfway line.
Dramatic penalty shootout yesterday between Shenfield and Stretford Grammar School and under 14 small schools. Another penalty was missed. Then there was a miss from the opposition, and it ended up Shenfield winning it 5-4.
Well, if you are unfamiliar with these scenarios, and I can't believe if you're English you are, each team will nominate 5 penalty takers, and Germany will win, or something like that. Each team will nominate 5 penalty takers. And if the scores are still level after those 10 kicks have been taken, then it will go to sudden death. The selections are made from the 11 players on the field at the end of the match, including the goalkeepers. They can take penalties.
Saw that yesterday. Oh, there's tension down there, though, isn't there? I think probably more so from the coaches on the sidelines, who can't really do much about it. There's Little there. I mean, he's just amazed that they're in this game at all.
And let's not forget that one of the coaches is the dad of one of the goalkeepers.
Sophie Marjoram.
Darren.
Yeah, Lauren White between the posts for Thomas Telford.
Well, St Ivo going to take the first penalty. And not surprisingly, Catherine Speed, who is the player of the match. I'm not sure if I think Sony could go to another PlayStation 4 if there's a...
Well,
I think
funny?
Sophie Bramford deserves one, to be honest, but there you go.
Well, it's funny, I mentioned from Thomas Telford, I went for the winning school.
Yeah.
Sophie, Sadie, Jessica Jennings.
Well, Catherine Speed's been outstanding so far. Scored a goal, part of another, and now she scored a penalty decisively. There's never any doubt about that. I tell you what, it would have taken a very, very good Women's Premier League goalkeeper to have kept that out. First up for Thomas Telford is Emily Wotton. Lefty. Wotton against Marjoram. Ooh, she hands to it too. It's in. It's 1-1. Been lucky the keeper.
Got a hand there, didn't she? And
number 10 for St Ivo is Ellie Jefferson, who started the game, came off and then came back on. Made that big tackle towards the end. Shorter run. Jefferson side foots it. Goalkeeper almost got down too early.
yeah.
2-1 to St Ivo.
Had a chance of getting that in the corner, did enough.
Sadie Craig's had a good game for Thomas Telford, capped off by the goal that made this penalty shootout necessary in the 73rd minute. Sadie Craig it is. Short run.
Ooh, good penalty.
Well played.
Excellent penalty.
I don't like short runs.
I don't like
I
them at all
really
either.
don't.
But that was put away right in the corner. I mean, gave the goalkeeper no chance at all.
Ellie Brown, central defender for St Ivo. Not much they can do.
No.
Brown, saved!
Oh.
Is that the big moment in the shootout? Lauren White has made the stop, and Ellie Brown is disappointed, to say the least. Nice height.
It was a nice height. Lauren White stands up, strong, she's distraught.
Well, Sophie Bramford's had quite an afternoon already, scored at both ends, and now can she score a penalty to give Thomas Telford the lead?
Oh,
there's
she's
your
close
answer.
again.
Just is the answer. Marjoram got a lot on that, but couldn't keep it out.
Same side where she nearly saved the previous penalty. Hammers the floor in disgust. She knows that was a chance.
Number 12 is Lauren Mellors. (3-2), Thomas Telford lead. 2 more penalties for St Ivo to take. And Mellors takes that one very convincingly indeed. She gave her the eyes, I think. Well, I've said it a few of the girls tonight, but this afternoon. But yeah, number 10 here, Jessica Jennings, Susie Support. Yeah, Liverpool.
She's had a great game.
And she scored. 4-3 to Thomas Telford, and it's already a sudden death because St Ivo have got to score the next one.
That's how to take a penalty. Brilliant.
To fly her out to Basel just in case. Well, it's all now on Zoe Barrett. Absolutely no choice. Captain of the squad has got to score. Barrett scores.
Ooh, relief on her face.
So it's 4-all, but Thomas Telford have the opportunity to score the last and winning penalty. And it's going to be Ella Kinsey who came on as a substitute in the match. Centre back, Chelsea fan, who's got the chance now to win it for her team and complete an amazing comeback. Kinsey, yes! Thomas Telford have won it. 2 down going into stoppage time in the final. They found a way to save the game and found a way to win the penalty shootout.
Well, St Ivo go over and console Sophie Marjoram. I know it's not her fault, they console them each other as well, I think. What a remarkable game. What a turnaround. Well, if there's any lessons to be learned, big lessons to be learned from that. Hanging in there, sticking in the game. Sophie Bramford didn't let her head drop after scoring that own goal. She got them back on the track with that first goal. Then Sadie Craig with the equaliser right at the death, and what remarkable scenes down below us. They celebrate, they go through to win the trophy.
There's an Anna who were hard in debate about 15 minutes ago. They're all friends. And Thomas Telford School, up just northwest of Birmingham, whose ex-pupils actually include Danny Guthrie, who had a spell here as a Reading player. Good football school. And now a good girls' football school. They've avenged yesterday's defeat in the junior division. They were behind here. Catherine Speed going clear on the stroke of half-time to give St Ivo a lead against the run of play in that first half, it has to be said. She's probably still been the best player on the field, I think, John, yeah?
No, I think just leading the line on her own. What she did, lovely through ball. She was away, little heavy touch, but I thought she just kept at it the entire game. Really did. Thankless task for so much of the game. She ran her socks off, put that one away. She took the second one, the free kick.
Yeah, midway through the second half, her free kick. When the goalkeeper stopped it, it was coming in at pace and at a difficult height. Bramford decided to try to take responsibility. Took it off a goalkeeper's hands and into the back of the net, and that was as bad as it got for Thomas Telford and indeed for Sophie Bramford. There she is, forcing her way back into the game, smashing home with 2 minutes of stoppage time play, but we weren't done.
Well, remarkable, wasn't it? You know, you think that's the consolation. She's deserving of the way that she responded after scoring the own goal. Lovely strike. Surely that was it. Surely it was still in the hands of St Ivo until this moment came. What about this? Great touch and a great strike. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Get themselves through to the penalty shootout. Who would have believed it? It's here. 3 of them chasing her down. Really hammers it home. Helpless Sophie Marjoram in goal, can't do anything about it. Well, and there you are, there's the scene at the end of another remarkable game. We had one earlier, Bishop Stortford 5, Thomas Telford 4. This time it ended 2-2 and going to penalties. And Ella Kinsey gets the 5th. And remarkably, crowns Thomas Telford School, against all the odds, the PlayStation Under-14 Schools Cup for Girls champions of 2016. We'll now look forward to the presentation ceremony down on the pitch. And of course, another game, the final game of 15 at this fantastic PlayStation Schools Cup Festival to come to close what has been a simply sensational 3 days. So we'll join you soon, and they are still, the girls are celebrating in the centre circle.
Just go to PlayStationSchoolsCup.com and all of the game's highlights are there for today.
Right, the runners-up of the ESFA PlayStation Under-14 Schools Cup for Girls. St Ivo! Number 4, Now Weber. Number 5, Ellen Willis. Number 6, Ellie Wade. Number 7, and player of the match, Catherine Speed. Number 8, Casey Norman. Number 9, Abby Townsend. Number 10, Ellie Jefferson. Number 11, Zoe Harris. Number 12, Lauren Mellors. Number 14, Alice Clark. Number 15, Emma Mullins. Number 16, Caitlin McDowell. Give me a round of applause, please, for your runners-up, St Ivo! And also, can we have a round of applause for the coaching staff as well at St Ivo?
We do have John Scales, Mike Tilsley here, presenting the awards. And as such as well, we'd like to present the awards to the officials. And if the officials would like to step forward, referee Darren Withers, assistant referees Matt Sell and Daniel Klein, and fourth official Edward Hall. We have a round of applause for the officials, please. They did a fantastic job. And here we are, the GSFA PlayStation Under-14 Schools Cup for Girls. Your winners, Thomas Telford School! Here we are, number 1, Lauren White. Number 2, Nicole Cousins. Number 3, Natasha Bowwater. Number 5, Abigail Jones. Number 6, Lauren Krishnan. Number 7, Macy Willis. Number 8, Sophie Bramford. Number 9, Sadie Green. Number 10, Jessica Jennings. Number 11, Maya Patel. Number 12, Mia Cole. Number 13, Leah Exton. Number 14, Patricia Warren. Number 15, Phoebe Price. Number 16, Ella Kinsey. And your captain, Emily Water! So again, we've got Clive, Disney, John Scales, kindly enough coming down to the country box station, commentating on all the games for the last 3 days. You can relive these games. Just go to PlayStationSchools.com, PlayStationSchools.com, and you'll be able to relive the moments of today. Fantastic goal. And play a big round of applause to your coaches and training staff at Thomas Telford School! Now I'd like to hand over the trophy to Thomas Telford. Who are the CSFA PlayStation Under 15 Schools Cup for Girls winners, Thomas Telford! Gone by the both hand over that trophy to Emily Watson. And give another vote over the right up. We'll have our fifth and final game kicking off very shortly.
Lisa Trigg, team manager for St Ivo. 1-1 in honours between you, but what a turnaround that was. That pulled at the heartstrings, I expect there.
It did. I mean, all credit where credit's due to Thomas Telford. After that first half, how we went in 1-0 up is beyond me. How they were so unlucky, if you like, not finding the back of net in that first half. So it's bittersweet, but at the same time, they're deserved winners. Yeah, they scored 2 in the last 3 minutes, which is something that our girls can only learn from. Heads going down once the one goes in instead of staying strong. But deserved winners, and we'll be back next year. This team keeps battling. This is the third for this age group, the 3rd time in 3 years they've been in a national final. So.
No, we've seen, you know, well, one of the things, we mentioned this yesterday, how girls football is improving all the time. At county level, really seeing very strong teams. And to think that these are 2 school teams and the quality of football from a school level team is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting more popular, like we mentioned yesterday. There's now competition between girls, like I said, in squads to get into the team, so it is really pushing us forward. There's 2 or 3 girls that are just on the cusp of coming in because the standard is getting so much stronger as it goes forward, and it's because it's getting more popular. It's in the media more, which is great for the girls' game.
Well, I believe they're trying to get the next match on very quickly, so we're going to have to go. But look, thank you very much, and it's just perfect timing. Look, you know, well done, guys. Safe journey home, and you know, you can be proud.
Well done with it next week. Well done.
Okay, 2 very happy Thomas Telford assistant managers. Dave has just suddenly come out of the woodwork. I haven't spoken to you for 2 days. Anna's been hiding you away, yeah.
She's the brains behind the operation.
Well, Dave, I've spoken to Anna a lot. I know what Anna's going to say, but today, well, what a turnaround. And in fact, the St Ivo manager just said, you know, your girls deserve to win, actually. Even though it was 2-0, you had so many chances through the match. She didn't know how you didn't score beforehand. Is that your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, the girls were fantastic, we thought, in the first half. They played really, really well, passed the ball, we dominated possession. And, you know, if you don't score, you're always worried about the other end. And, you know, credit to him, their number 7, the girl who was man of the match. You know, she was a threat and obviously nicked the goal. You know, what we had to do at half-time was try and raise the girls' spirits a little bit. And
look at this rowdy man.
Because they need their spirits raising to go and...
Okay. Look, we've already had that picture, girls. Well done, girls. Very good. Anna, the board went up. End of the match. Surely you're thinking, well, there's no way we're going to score 2.
Well, football's a funny game.
This is not going to go well, is it?
No. We've gambled, to be fair, the last 5 minutes. We've gone 3 at the back and then piled bodies in the box. So with the quality that we have got with some of the girls, we do. Yeah.
It's okay, we're all wet enough anyway.
Yeah. With the players that we have got, you know, we can go to the final minute and believe that we can score. So.
You're looking at a big screen to see who's about to dunk you. I think they're just doing themselves nowadays. So, You know, that second goal was just quite incredible, and it's moments like that that create trophies, isn't it? The way she got her head down, used her pace, and then converted was incredible, Dave.
Yeah, Sadie's been a great player for us. She's had a few chances. She ended up taking probably the hardest chance, to be fair to her. But you know, it's credit to the girls. They didn't give in. You know, they were disappointed. Their heads were down, especially when the second goal went in. And you think, you know, is it going to be your day? But the girls carried on. They got their heads to the ground, and eventually, you know, managed to pull it back. And what a way to win it in the end.
And now you've got the boys coming next. I'll tell you what, that coach is going to be rocking. You know, we've got a D-ring to do, unfortunately, so we can't be following behind you. But I bet there's going to be an amazing atmosphere going on tonight. A few sing songs, perhaps.
Yeah, one or two. To be fair, they're a little bit rowdy at times, and if we can bring it, yeah, exactly. You know, if we can bring back another trophy, I think they'll be even more rowdy. So, but still, they deserve it. They've played well, and hopefully now the Year 9 boys can go on and get us a second trophy today to make up for this morning's disappointment with the Year 10s.
And most of this squad are going to be defending this title next year because many of the players were in the under-13s yesterday, weren't they?
Actually, we've only had 2 girls start today that played yesterday, so that worked in our favour, really. We have a lot of the older Year 9s. So Ivo had obviously a lot more, I think. So, you know, we were maybe a little more fresh-legged, maybe, but, you know, it's been a great game.
Absolutely, great game. Great advert for girls football as well. Just got to say, Anna, you know, the quality for 2 schools teams. Like, you know, you think back 3 or 4 years, you know, county level teams, occasionally you would see, but there was players all over the pitch there, wasn't there?
Yeah, like me and Dave can't wait to watch it back. You know, that's how exciting it looked, and looking forward to watching it back again. The football being played, you know, and St Ivo, they're a quality team. It was a quality game out there today, and you know, it went to penalties, and that just shows the quality of both sides. So.
Well, I'm going to have to go because I think I'm commentating on the next match. It's lovely to meet both of you. Safe journey home.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys.